On tap, Young's Double Chocolate Stout. Hi, I'm James Knott, and today we are drinking Young's Double Chocolate Stout from Young's & Wells Brewing Company in Bedford, England. This stout is brewed with dark chocolate, chocolate malt, and sugar. The brewery says it is satisfyingly indulgent, but never overly sweet. Other ingredients include pale and crystal malt, along with goldings and fuggles hops. It is 5.2% ABV, and the cans have a nitrogen widget to add to the creamy head and mouthfeel. The company says to serve it cool, but not cold. Adam, what flavors are you getting out of this?
It's just like a semi-sweet chocolate milk, if you can imagine that. Instead of using Hershey syrup, you're gonna melt semi-sweet chocolate chips down and then make this into chocolate milk. It's got a slightly bitey finish to it, but overall very smooth, very creamy, good flavor.
So, Joey, from the pour, how would you describe this beer?
Well, James, it took a very aggressive pour to get the head at all, but it's got staying power and it's creamy and it cascades throughout the glass. So it's pretty impressive, regular stout. So I like it a lot.
So how was the mouthfeel on this one?
The mouthfeel was all right. It's creamy, but it's smooth. Adam mentioned earlier that it's almost like a chocolate milk, and I agree because it's very smooth going down, very chocolate milky.
Okay, I've heard the word chocolate milk used a couple times, Scott. I mean, is that an adjective that you would use for this beer?
Yeah, it could be. It's kind of bitter a little bit. But it's still sweet too. So I don't know. I think maybe the nitrogen itself, the nitrogen-infused beers, they kind of cut the bitterness out a little bit. It kind of makes it a little bit creamier in your mouth. But it definitely does have kind of a cocoa smell and taste.
Okay, and how does the aroma line up with the taste on this?
It does. It smells like cocoa a little bit. It definitely has a soft aroma, though. It's not a very strong, sharp aroma. So it's really nice. It has a great aroma.
Do you think the aroma matches the flavor?
Absolutely. I mean, you can smell the cocoa in it, but it doesn't have a sweet chocolate smell to it. It's really it's that bitter sweet, just like Scott was describing there.
For me, this is like really thick. I mean, like molasses. I mean, is it the right thickness for you, or too thick, or?
I think this is a perfect thickness for a stout. I mean, when you talk about stouts, they all have that thick, nice coating on your mouth, and I think that's why a lot of us enjoy drinking stouts. I know that's why Joby enjoys drinking stouts. He likes that coating on his mouth.
Yeah, I don't understand where you get the molasses thickness, because for me it's smooth. It gives that chocolate covering, but I don't think it's that thick.
You talk a lot about like the aftertaste. I mean, is there an aftertaste on this one, or an aftertaste in a good way?
I'd say it's an aftertaste in a good way. It's more like the chocolate milk, if you will, if we're all going with that. For me, I love the aftertaste of this.
We've talked about chocolate milk. I mean, are you worried about giving an impression to the viewers that this is more sweet than it actually is?
No, I mean it's not sweet. I mean it has just that. Imagine if you kind of chewed on a cocoa bean in your mouth and spit it out, and that a little bit of aftertaste, and then drink a beer. That could kind of give you that. And I'd say honestly, if people want to drink this beer, pour it and drink it a little bit faster than you would a normal beer, because when it loses its carbonation, it's more of a kind of a watery, decarbonated beer, honestly, because it doesn't hold its carbonation at all. There is no carbonation in this beer. It is a flat beer at this point. You've got the creamy foam head on top, and really, honestly, I enjoy a beer with a little bit more, I guess, zing to it. So I prefer it when it has the carbonation.
When you talk about stout beers, this has every characteristic of a stout beer. When you're talking about the flavor lingering.
Because it is a stout.
Yeah, exactly. The flavor lingering, and I think people that drink stout beers, they like that lingering flavor that sticks to the roof of their mouth, that holds on for quite some time. But again, when you talk about stout beers, you can either have an off-putting flavor that's in your mouth, or you can have this kind of little bit of a sweet, but like I said in the beginning, a little bit of a bitey finish, but sweet, bitter. You still have that chocolate taste in the afterthought in your mouth.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean, again, it's just I like the carbonation. I wish it would keep it more. I mean, I'm still rating this beer an 8, so.
Okay, Scott's giving it an 8. What's your rating?
My rating's a 9. I think, I would drink this any day of the week. Since I'm lactose intolerant, I'd pour it over my cereal.
Bingo.
This is a good beer. This is a really nice beer.
All right, and Joby, what's your rating?
I'm also a 9, man. It's a really great beer. Anytime you get your hands on this one, grab it. I can see myself picking up a 12-pack of this and enjoying it throughout the weekend.
Do you think, Joby, is this in your top 10 beers?
That's hard to say, James. I mean, with the limited amount of beers I've had, maybe. But I'm not going to rate it a 10, but you never know. I give it a 9.
Okay, Young's Double Chocolate Stout gets a 8.7 on the BBA scale. Is this your favorite chocolate stout? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Thanks for watching. I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority.
Better Beer Authority.